The Three Gorges Dam is only one of several dams built along the Yangtze. Although its reservoir is one of the largest, dams further upstream are often taller. The entire network needs to hold and release water in coordinated fashion in order to ensure that downstream reservoirs and overflow lakes are not overwhelmed all at once. This is becoming a problem in 2020 because the entire Yangtze River basin, including rivers that feed the main Yangtze, have been subjected to an unprecedented series of massive rainstorms. As a result of the massive inflow of water, upstream dams are themselves under increasing stress, as flooding inundates their catchment areas. To relieve the pressure, the Chinese have gone so far as to demolish a part of one small dam in nearby Anhui province that held back one of the tributaries feeding into the Yangtze. But opening the spillways on upstream dams would only increase the volume of water sluicing into the reservoir held back by the Three Gorges Dam. Indeed, the Three Gorges Dam itself has now had 3 flood peaks, affecting the release of water from the massive reservoir. Reports suggest that water has been flowing into the reservoir at some 50,000 to 60,000 cubic meters a second, but due to concerns about flooding downstream cities, water is only being released at about 38,000 cubic meters a second. The reservoir, whose maximum level is 175 meters, has reached 164.18 meters, exceeding its previous record of 163.11 meters in 2012. The ongoing flooding raises several challenges for the authorities in Beijing. Economic. Downstream from the Three Gorges Dam, the Yangtze flows through a number of major Chinese urban centers, including Wuhan and Nanjing, before reaching the sea at Shanghai. The current flooding has already led to 140 deaths and 2 million displaced persons as cities and towns along the Yangtze and its tributaries have been evacuated. Millions more have been affected as farms, mines, and other businesses have been hit by floodwaters. The flooding has affected China's economy, as businesses have lost inventory and production has been delayed. Similarly, transportation links across China have been disrupted, leading to not only local and regional but national repercussions. Farther afield, the massive scale of flooding is affecting a range of supply chains. Deliveries of personal protective equipment from China, for example, may be delayed by as much as 3 weeks to a month, due to flooding of production centers as well as transportation links that would move equipment to shipping ports. Disease. Notably, the floods are affecting Wuhan, the epicenter of the COVID-19 epidemic. The evacuation of hundreds of thousands of residents potentially affects the ability to maintain social distancing, lockdown, and other measures intended to curtail the spread of the virus. Where the evacuees are relocated to is also likely to affect the ability to maintain quarantine behavior. China's socialized medical system means that individuals are largely tied to their home village for provision of medical benefits. The same applies to most other social welfare measures. It remains to be seen how the flooding of hospitals and displacement of persons will affect the provision of medical care in the face of both rising waters and COVID-19. Political. President Xi Jinping faces a perfect storm of political challenges. The COVID-19 crisis hit just as China was about to resolve at least some aspects of the trade war with the United States. The COVID-19 shutdown imposed on China led to a massive economic hit, including an unprecedented 6% drop in China's gross domestic product. While this is not the fault of Xi per se, leaders of all political stripes typically get blamed for economic downturns and other economic problems such as unemployment and inflation. For millions of Chinese, already facing economic hardship, to now have to evacuate due to flooding will only further stress the ability of the Chinese Communist Party to maintain order, and for Xi to maintain the aura of supreme leadership. This is potentially exacerbated by foreign challenges. It can't do Xi little good to have a number of European states declare that Huawei will not be allowed into their 5G networks. The Trump administration's flurry of speeches, coupled with a constant procession of indictments of Chinese nationals and officials for espionage, further increases the pressure on Xi and the rest of the Chinese Communist Party's Politburo.